bro. Oh boy, it's kind of late. Sorry about that. Sorry about the late show. It's probably like 11 p.m. for you if you on the West Coast. But if you on the East Coast, it's probably like 1:40. I wish I can do videos early in the day, but most important that I do them and bring these heated discussions, these heated topics. They keep people stimulated and up to date because I won't let these people off the hook. Notice how they have whole industries of misinformation. They have whole industries of misinformation. Not my people, I feel you. But they have whole industries of misinformation like this. You know, you got people on here every day following us. You know, we are what we are, what we want to be, and they're telling us we're not. This our ancestor. You know, all online every day we got a bunch of people or persons debating us, demanding that we accept this as our ancestor. This is your ancestor. This is what we got to deal with. Now, you want to worry about the deficit, you know, recession, inflation, politics. That's grown people talk. You have to get over the fact that you have to deal with a large population of maybe 10 million people who believe this is their common ancestor. And they can go back in the fossils that they found somewhere millions of years old, which is highly unlikely because bones is made out of calcium and it will dissolve quickly. Most bones decay or are consumed by weatherization. They believe that they have a skeletal specimen that's 34% complete, and they can determine that this is their ancestor. And through scientific reconstruction, imaging, this is an estimate of what that ancestor looked like. It don't have a real nose, and it has straight hair. It has straight hair. Let me see if I can get the original one. Let's get the original one. So that's hair all over the body and straight hair. And that's the cousin right there. So, you know, this is what they teach. And I promise you, and this is the satanic part about it right here. This is the satanic part about it. If they can convince you that primates are a specific species and you are related to that primate just because you know you can walk and they can walk, y'all are related. If they can convince you that you are related to an animal, they can convince you that it's okay that, you know, people are related to dogs or other animals. It opens up the floodgates for reptilian genetic engineering, you know, and other species. If you can be dumbed down to accept that somebody with woolly hair and, you know, full nostrils is related to this thing. So common sense got to kick in for an adult, but it seems like more like a hostile takeover of the, you know, the education systems and the minds of the people through propaganda and forced assimilation. that they get you to accept these narratives as you have to pass the class in school to graduate. And if you don't, put this on the answer sheet that this is your common ancestor, you can't graduate. So it's like a hijack because basically this is the curriculum of OOA theory. So this is your 3.2 million year ancestor. And this is the cousin right here, Lucy's cousin. And this is the images that you accept when you let a Pan-African stalk you down and tell everybody is out of Africa no matter what. This is the source ancestor for these people in America, all the way in America, telling us this is our source ancestor. So this is the question I have. If you believe in evolution, because it had to evolve, right, to this creature. What was it before this creature? You understand what I'm saying? It had to be something else. It didn't just start off into an ape-like creature. It had to start off as a fish, as some type of cellular, single organism. What was it before this? And they can't tell you that. You can't tell me life just started as an ape, but it can't just start as a human. Life can start as an ape, but it can't start as a human. That don't even make sense. So it had to be something before it was an ape. And like I say, this is the source basis for a Pan-African's argument on African superiority. And I don't see how this makes you superior. It seems like it makes you more primitive and subspecies because this is an undeveloped primate, and based off our origin stories, our ancestors left us in the pyramids. They showed us with dominion over the different animals and the zoomorphic types, and being visited by certain creatures or whatever, but it showed man in his perfection. That's what the pyramid murals show, man in his perfection. So I think that this is like a mockery of the intelligence of people being able to think for themselves and showing you being able to distinguish what the ancestors left behind, versus what this new Eurocentrism of opinion science, not fact-based science, theorized science. This science is new, is 100 years versus the thousands of years of the God gene or the creator gene, God and man, what the ancestors taught. And, because even in Africa, a lot of the tribes people believe in a God. They believe in nature, a deity. So being a Pan-African is actually anti-African in many ways because many of the African people have deities and creation stories, so they don't themselves even believe in Lucy being their ancestor. So it's really a mainstream situation, and we have a bunch of antagonists and I want to say bullies trying to force us into this curriculum because it's just a thought, it's a guess, it's a theory, and it's not your ancestor. So we see what we're dealing with when we get these dudes harassing us every day saying you're an African based off phenotype. So they're mocking you and they're really making fun of the way you look. This is what their intention was from the get-go, and it backfired because we don't have low self-esteem. So the world was mocking you, comparing you to this creature right here, and justifying it with a racist form of science and psychology. And like I said, it don't hurt our feelings because the whole world want to, look like our women and, walk like the men. So, but the problem is people still accept it as truth. It was just a mockery. They went all out to troll. They like been really trolling our people. Since Hollywood's inception, they've been, trolling us with caricatures and blackface and cartoons, and they really been trolling us. And this is actually trolling. This is exactly what it is. This is a historical troll, and it shows you how they feel about you, how they always want you to trip up and look goofy, as a whole. And that's why we are one people, because they want you to stumble and fail at every turn, and it sucks when you waste your life and energy on nonsense instead of helping your cause through love, because we actually do need each other. And as divided as we really are, we really do need each other, because we are really the same people. But scientifically, they have no proof of OOA, because this out of Africa theory can't be proven if this is not your ancestor. They have no evidence of what this was before it was an ape, before it evolved into human or man. And furthermore, they're not talking about facts, bro. I ain't heard nobody talking like that. Exactly. Furthermore, this creature has straight hair, and it don't have your future's woolly hair and God gene third eye, and the statues don't line up. The ancestral statues that they left behind, they're intentionally ignoring the artifacts of the ancient world. Now, we have seen like certain statues with like lion heads and sphinx. So we have to look at it, the possibility of genetic engineering or the knowledge of. So if you accept that they're going to designate you to this creature, then you have to accept that, the Minotaur, remember the Minotaur, the horseman, and, the flying creatures, all types of different creatures out here that we have to accept existed if we want to go this route, instead of going the natural nape slash, you know, uh, Naga, Naga Moro Aboriginal race, natural race of people is what I think we are. We was a singular development. We didn't evolve and break away from nothing. And we got to get out of that. And as long as we accept Pan-Africans, this is what we get, y'all. So this is the basis of our rebuttal, our historical rebuttal, our public rebuttal. This video would be used and referred to on an intelligent basis for the argument on out of Africa and the knowledge of people living in the Western Hemisphere slash the Americas time immemorial, possibly hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, right here in the Americas history, erased and suppressed and replaced with mainstream propaganda. So this is really an act of war. It's really not it's like a simple situation. If somebody intentionally hide your ancestral origins and your genealogy from you, that's really ethnocide on a different level and historicide. And this is scary stuff, because this is just one issue. When we're talking about Santa Claus, Jesus, religion as a whole, mainstream propaganda, and different other, entertainment, debacles, and distractions, this is just one. You know how many thousands of other stories they got to just lock your brain in, and you're just stuck into the matrix or the mode of dedicating yourself to a thought of inception. This is just one right here. Look at the Kunta Kinte story that never happened. Just because they showed it on a movie, these people are so immature that they really follow these narratives that they see on a TV. That they see on a TV or a movie, it'll really go into their mind and they'll really play it out. See, they play out roots. And they judge you off what they tell you off of TV. Now we have this model right here out of Africa, and Lucy cousin. We have millions of people believing this is their relative, and they're not really putting up any type of fight. They're okay with it. And like I say, if you're okay with being related to this creature, you're gonna have to open the door for other creatures like dog-like people, lizard-like people, all types of creatures if you're going to accept this type of genetic engineering. And then at that moment, because remember when you go to court, they make you swear on the Bible and all of that. You at that moment you don't believe in God anymore once you go into out of Africa. And this is why we have asserted that this is a demonic cult of black magic worshippers that know how to get people in a deep thought. And they work on your mind, they work on your mind, they work on your mind because you have to be anti-God and anti-Christ and anti-religion if you believe in OOA because it's about evolution, not creation, and y'all have not caught on yet. So yes, it's a satanic cult, and I'm calling them out first. I'm the number one warrior on the issue, putting my foot down, and this is the year. I'm calling them out, and they're gone. They're done. It's an evil demonic cult because it's against God. It's against Allah. It's against Ra. It's against the deity. It's against the Holy Mother. It's against the Holy Creator that created us versus some you evolved from this. Or it's just a historical troll saying, it's a breakaway creature. Either way, it devolved or we evolved from it. It's still a troll. It's a tripe. It's a satire for television, and just like many other things people fell for on TV, this is just one of them, and I'm trying to snap y'all out of it. Most people that's into the indigenous and aboriginal, they understand the the threat and damage of OOA, of out of Africa. They understand the mind frame of a person who believes in it, but it's a lot of other people out here still calling themselves black and associating themselves with it just because they believe in out of Africa. A lot of these people are steadfast and really believe in their black. And these are the simpletons who just don't think and pay attention. They just wake up every day. And this is it. Most of us, we're done with it. We know we're woke, but this is the epitome of a Pan-African. This is what's in their mind. They really, on a holy level, religious level, believe this is their ancestor. This is their ancestor. This is where they come from, and this is what we got to deal with. And you build intelligence community. Is this who found Tarzan and the Congo and took him and trained him? Exactly. Exactly. It's all like, just like the history they concocted over here throughout the years and continue to just make up history. This is the same type of tactic, and they got you. It goes against God. They know you're a sinner. It's like people that eat pork and stuff like that and eat foul food. They know you're not godly. So they have every right to do what they want to do with you. You're toxic in so many levels, and you can't go against the royals of the world and the holy people that's holding it down. They got you once they get you to consume what's evil and vile and, detestable. They got you. They got you. And if they can get you to believe that you come from this instead of a God, that's the part of the satanic, evil cult that they do to break your mind. They want to break your mind in mass because they need souls. They capture souls out here. That's why so many missing people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a real effort out here to snatch souls up out here. These dudes are evil. If you look at the average pan boo boo, those dudes got an evil streaks about them. They be extra feminine, or it be something demonic about them. And as people from the hood, I like to say the hood or the land, the towns in America, we know how to spot the evil eye. We know how to spot the evil eye. Versus, a relative that's just hard headed. We know how to spot some evil dudes that lurk and want to do damage, that will snap on you. That is, I believe, the average Pan-African is untrustable on that level. Like they'll really damage you if they get the advantage. Like they're not stable. That's just how I feel because they go extra aggressive on proving who you are based on the look. So these are some extra brainwashed people They are brainwashed beyond repair and recovery because you got to understand this is their relative. They're going to bat for this relative right here. They're ready to fight every day online if you try to run from this relative right here. If you be like, this is not my relative, they are going to fight you. They're going to fight you. Every day they are live, every day telling you this is your relative, in which is antichrist. Christ is your relative. If anything, Allah is your relative. If anything, so how in the hell you go from Allah into, into man, they got you going against everything good, man. They got y'all. They have y'all. And the fact that they have y'all, it's really a threat when you try to wake y'all up. That's how deep this is. Trying to wake people up in mass. That can hurt somebody's pocket because there's so many millions of y'all who believe just in this simple little lie. It's probably hundreds of millions of y'all who believe in this. So that's hundreds of millions of lost souls. Hundreds of millions, possibly billions of lost souls who believe in this. So you don't believe in God, you don't believe in the creator, you're done, you're broken away from, the connection of all knowing and, the natural spiral of existence. You're breaking away from that because you believe in this one little lie, and you probably eat so much flesh and pork that your brain will never let you back into the electromagnetic pulse of the universe. So this is your common ancestor if you follow those channels. And OHF and Dandada, these are their relatives. These are their relatives on TikTok. And I'm sharing with you common sense, something that I got. And we want to carry this into the new decade and be there for the people, because this is how they want you. Now, let's look at my model, the way I think, how I'm able to analyze and break stuff down. And now let's look at them, what they believe. This is what politics is. Politics is when I'm willing to lead for you and show you the difference in thinking, how to be multifaceted versus these unilateral followers, a group of followers who just emotionally following each other, and someone who can think critically and question things and be abstract with strategy versus inwardness, being multilateral. Look, this is common sense. Your ancestors taught you it was a God. It was a Holy Spirit. You went to church. You gonna give that up for this concept right here of a Pan-African? Are you really gonna give that up? You're gonna give up what your ancestors fought for in them pyramids, showing you the all-seeing eye. You come from the all-seeing eye. You do not come from this right here. You know that. They limit you. And the thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. The thoughts of the Creator cannot be circumscribed. You cannot put it on a location or origin. So that's the number one sin right there, that you taking that power away from the Creator and you giving it to a man who is new to this realm. So that's your punishment of ignorance. And you can imagine the punishment they got for you. It's like walk right in this door. That's the type of punishment. And they don't care if they can throw away the key type punishment. And it's very unhealthy for us to be in this type of danger because we're losing souls and we can lose our lives so quick because it's like being a goofy. Nobody's going to trust you if you're just a goofy. You're a threat to everybody if you're a goofy and don't think. You're a threat to the people who are very intelligent, who concoct these lies, who come up with these traps for you. This is a spell on your mind, and if they got you, it's like, oh, well, you slow. That's on you, basically. And if you slow, they can do whatever they want to you. They can do whatever they want to you. I'm telling you, you're in danger. You're in danger. You're in more danger than you know. I'm trying to tell y'all the threat is real. I'm trying to be a prophet to y'all because I'm feeling some type of way. Like, I've done so much with my life. I've accomplished so much. I got a good job or whatever. And, I'm in position to do what I want to do, but I can feel the threat is real. And it ain't that it's like a real monster, because the door is a revolving door. People been going to jail and losing their life. But it's a different type of beast of consumption who don't care. Because when people are, when times get drastic, when, dealing with conflicts, with militaries and food and economies, people start shedding skin and don't care about people who from the past. They consume you. That's what I'm telling you. Ignorance will speed up your demise, because it's a new system that they implement, and they don't really care if you poor or not. They don't care about owing you no money if you poor. So if you can't adapt to the new systems, you automatically get left behind. And this is what duplicates ignorance, because people that get left behind, they still produce, they still reproduce, and those people inherit the same mind. And imagine somebody like me living amongst a bunch of illiterates, and I'm all by myself. I'm all by myself trying to tell somebody, oh, that's not true. They gonna look at you like you're a fool. So, yeah, I feel sad. The Holy Spirit not an animal. I feel sad. I know it's late. I gotta stop doing these topics late night. I gotta find the time to go in the daytime, because this is epic. This is epic information. I know it's epic. I gotta really take over. I feel like I can really take over, because everybody know me. I didn't went at the head honchos on TikTok and shut them down. Earth speaks, and we know the truth. They don't want no smoke with me. You know what I'm saying? All the Pan-Africans don't want no smoke with me. I shut them all down. So I feel like I can just take over the daytime on TikTok. But yeah, I just had to do this quick video for y'all. And I'm gonna post this on YouTube. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, it's definitely the Holy Spirit. That's gonna be the next video. The Holy Spirit versus Lucy. The War of Wars. The Holy Spirit versus Lucy.